Today I'm going to do another look at my E-Flite Micro Draco, and this time with a 4S battery, so let's go outside and fly 4S on the Draco. Time to do another flight with the Draco then. Let's get it up. Really easy just to have this one flying. More or less no wind today. A cloudy sky. So let's push it on 4S, and I instantly got a battery warning, which is kind of an odd thing. Surely on 4S you have a nice agility, much more fun than on 3S. So there again, when I just push this plane, then just runs into kind of a telemetry warning, which means that I have a voltage drop below 3.5 volts per cell. Kind of odd, I mean, just haven't flown this one for a long time, and then more or less instantly just get a battery warning. Doesn't really sound too good in my opinion. Just looking at this Spektrum 4S 300 mAh battery, it's really tiny. There again, I mean, I'm just running into kind of a low voltage cutoff thing. So it just appears that this 4S battery then is certainly not keeping up with this power draw on this plane then. Which is just too bad, because it's really fun to push it on 4S. So it's a bummer that I cannot just keep on pushing this plane without running into this low voltage warning then. I mean, I have this kind of half of the 5 minutes timer then left. So let's go in for a landing and see if can this battery influence how it flies. It doesn't appear to. I think that the wheels on this RSI plane, they are just fantastic. And although this is artificial grass, so not long grass, I'm looking forward to just to try this one on kind of a rougher grass also. So you can hear like 5 amps. So it should be able to do just 5 amps without dropping voltage too much, but it appears that I have to search for kind of a more specified or better battery than these Spektrum batteries. So I hadn't had kind of these telemetry warnings then when I fly on my 350 milliamp 3S batteries. But you can, as you can hear, I mean, every time I just keep on pushing this plane then on 4S, just instantly run into the telemetry warning. And this plane is just set up by the manual or just set up in the box. So I mean, it's one thing if you run into kind of a low voltage warning and it doesn't affect the plane, but when I do it and just on certain passes, I run into a low voltage cutoff also. There's just lots of things going on with my TX. I mean, I have telemetry just set up for the battery, and I also had to set it up for like receiving frame losses and such. So, well, in a way, I very much prefer just to have this information, because then I can make adjustments when if I mean if I have pushing the plane too much and just have to make some adjustments, and even if I have a bad reception then on the receiver. And so I surely appreciate these telemetry readouts then, and I just try to avoid having these warnings set to like beeping, because that's just truly annoying, but the voice doesn't really annoy me too much. So, I mean, it's just a bummer that this plane really can't keep up on the Spektrum batteries with 4S, because it is really fun and agile, and I just like to push this one as much as I can then on 4S. So finally then, with the 4S battery, I think that this plane just comes alive. It's really fun and agile, and although I don't think that this is kind of the first choice then when it comes to aerobatic small RC planes, I mean, I don't think that you will be disappointed with 4S. I even think that on 3S it is a nice bush flying RC plane. So if you surely just want to fly it really scale, 3S, no problems. And I will also say that there is in my opinion then, a huge negative with 4S on this RC plane. So if you just pick a kind of a 350 milliamp 3S battery and fly this plane, I think it flies nice, and you can fly for at least 5 minutes without any kind of a battery warnings or anything worrying like that. So I think that the power is really nice. But when you put the 4S battery in this plane, I think it draws like 6 amps when you fly. And I only had kind of these Spektrum 4S 300 milliamp batteries. I mean, I almost instantly get a low battery warning, and I also ran into low voltage cutoff of this RC plane. So that's kind of I mean, if you have 4S, you really want to push this RC plane and have lots of fun, and you want to keep on flight for at least like 4 or 5 minutes. But it feels like if you just push this plane then on 4S for, I mean, maybe just 20 seconds or something, you start to get into this low voltage. So I think that the Spektrum 4S 300 milliamp battery are poor in the sense that they don't really deliver the power that you need. And although they should be able to do maybe like 9 amps power draw or something, even 6 amps, I think it's just too much for these batteries. And just looking at the weight, then I have another brand, 3S 350 milliamp batteries. They are much heavier than 4S 300 Spektrum batteries. So weight, I think, tells how efficient and how good a battery really is. And then I think that surely if other manufacturers would just make better batteries, and I also think that you could probably put in kind of a 450 or at least 400 milliamp battery 4S in this RC plane, and it will still fly good, because as I experience, this plane just want to keep pitching up when you fly. So that tells me that it is tail heavy, and I have just had to adjust my elevator to go down quite severe. So that's a thing that I think that it would really be good to have more weight in the nose then. But first, flying on 4S, I think it's just a really nice and agile RC plane, and I certainly have a lot more fun with it. I like to go speedy and just, you know, go around in the sky and do things. So 4S is the way to go if you want to have fun, but 3S then if you just enjoy a scale plane. And you can certainly just go speedy on 3S also, just that when you like go up and you want to go into kind of aerobatic maneuvers, it kind of feels a little bit sluggish. I've had also another problem with mine. Both times I've just had this one start this plane up, and that has been that the rudder has been stuck. So when I just bound it to my TX and I tried to move the rudder, it didn't really turn. Then I had to manually just wiggle this a little bit. So there's some sort of stickiness between the foam then and the linkage, I think. So that's kind of a quality issue. Other than that, I think it works just fine. I think it's a nice low noised prop noise. It's really easy just to put this one together. And although, as I said previously in my first video, I think that this connector then for the wing could have been done a little bit better way. But anyway, it is what it is. Just one screw to secure this one. It has a lot of scale details. I think that the lights underneath the wing, then they are really nice. And they kind of also help with this RC airplane when you're about to orientate it, because any RC airplane that has kind of a one uniform color on it becomes more difficult to orientate. So with these lights, then they surely help with orientation. I think that these wheels are just fantastic, and with this kind of a spring dampening mechanism also. So all in all, just a really great RC airplane. But the problem then, I think, first of all, no more weight in the nose, a better spec 4S battery, maybe 400 milliamp, and then this kind of a sticky linkage for the rudder piece is one thing of concern. But I'm really enjoying this. I think it's a fantastic looking and really great flying micro Draco. So see you in the next one, and have a good one, and do some flying, and certainly just try to avoid crashing. That's one of my goals on every flight I do.